going on, boys? Yeah, we're back with another video. Today is Monday, and it's looking good today. I got this Honda that I gotta do the radiator on. What ended up happening on this bad boy was that the hose, the upper hose, broke off from the actual radiator there. Let me get you a light so you guys can see that a little bit better. But that's where the leak is coming from. So it broke off, so we gotta replace the radiator. A lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, why don't you just hook it up right there? Look, there's still enough, you know, a little bit off the radiator." Guys, this thing comes off like another ½ an inch. Okay, if I put this on right now, it'll pop right off. The radiator is broken. We gotta replace it. Okay, so just so you guys know, that does happen, especially with like old plastic like this. Happens all the time. So I'm gonna go ahead and recommend the radiator on this thing. Get that done, and then I'm gonna work on the Mustang because I have a project coming to the shop that I'm very excited about. You guys are gonna love it. Everybody's gonna love it. It's gonna be fucking sick. I can't wait. But anyways, when that happens, I'll let you guys know. But for now, we're gonna just get the Mustang running and then probably send it out to paint once I get it all running and everything. Cause I wanna finish that car and then get my new projects in. And then yeah. Anyways, make sure you guys sign up for my newsletter, buy your shirt at automechanicssupply.com, and make sure you follow me on Instagram, TheMechanicNM. Link in the description below to everything. Thanks so much for watching, boys. Let's get to work and get this shit done. Happy Monday, boys. Let's get it. Okay, gentlemen. So, waiting on approval for this bad boy. I had 2 appointments today. One of them didn't show up. So, we only have one, and this is one of them, which is not a big deal because that means we can work on... Hold on, boys. I don't want to be copyrighted. If you guys are wondering what kind of music I listen to at the shop, I listen to classical music. Mostly piano classical music. Just cause. Anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and work on the bike while I get approval for this bad boy. What I want to do on the bike is I want to build some pegs for it because we are going to do a photo shoot today on the bike. And we're going to have a hot girl on it. So I want to make some pegs for it just so I can get it... you know, do it and then have her on the bike. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build the pegs. I'm gonna put like a piece of metal right here coming out of this shock. So I'm gonna weld that piece of metal to the bolt, and then I'll just go ahead and thread the bolt in that holds the shock in. You guys don't know what the hell I'm talking about. As soon as I get it done, it'll be easier to comprehend once I actually do it. But basically, the peg will be what holds the shock in the swing arm. You know what I'm saying? So essentially, this will be the peg. I'm gonna put a piece of metal here, weld it, and then put it back in. I'm actually gonna use a different bolt because I don't want to fuck this one up because this is the original one. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a different bolt for this one. But anyways, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, gentlemen, so I'm going to try to find a damn bolt that matches this one up so I don't ruin this one. Because in case something happens, I'm able to reuse the original ones. But if you guys know that every mechanic has a pile of bolts that we use as like emergency bolts. Okay. So I might, hopefully I have one because I don't want to go to O'Reilly's and buy some. I'm really not in the mood to spend more money, even if it's just on bolts. So, okay, I'm going to keep looking for some bolts, boys. Hopefully I find some. If not, we're going to O'Reilly's, baby. We're going to O'Reilly's. I'll see you guys soon. We got one, boys. We got one. Now I got to find another one just like this one. Nope. Okay, we got to find another one. Hell yeah, baby, we found two. It matches this bad boy. So what now I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure they fit. It's the right thread and everything. I matched it up with the original one. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make sure that everything matches up here. So hold on, boys. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is a piece of metal. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just cut, like, imagine this is just a piece of metal, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna weld this to the bolt right there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and thread the bolt in with the peg, and that'll be my peg, my makeshift peg for now. Okay, basically what I'm gonna do just to get this thing so I can put a chick on the back of it and take some cool pictures. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Okay, boys, hopefully you guys can see that and it's in focus. Let me make sure it's in focus before I start. But basically, I got the bolt down with the little piece of metal there. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and weld that up. Weld that bad boy up, and then go to the next one. Easy peasy Japanesey, quick pegs. Not a real big deal actually. Excuse me. Damn it. Oh man, that sucks. Hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and, that sucks. So hopefully it grounds from the actual. Okay, hold on boys. I'm gonna try to ground this. Be right back. Okie doke. Not bad. Alright, for what I need it for, this is going to be good enough. Ooh, don't touch that then. You know what I'm saying? And then if I can't tighten the bolt down because I welded on the threads, I can use an actual piece of metal because it's square, so I'm able to tighten that down if I need to. I shouldn't have a problem getting a wrench on there though. It should be cool. That's one. Okay boys, so we got it all set. I got the pegs in and they look pretty okay. I'm not a big fan of the look because it kind of robs away from the sleekness of the bike. Let me make sure you guys aren't overexposed here. But yeah, 2 pegs right there. And yeah, it should be cool. The girl should be on there, no problem. Be able to put her feet down, and it should look cool once it's all said and done. What do you guys think? Let me know. Comment section below, like always. Hopefully, it won't be a problem. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be an issue just because it shouldn't be an issue. But anyways, I'm gonna go get some lunch, and hold on. There we go. You guys can see me now? Okay, but the bike looks good. I'm actually really happy with the way it's coming out, and it's ready to go, ready to get sold. The only thing I gotta do on it is, okay boys, snap-on truck's outside. I'm waiting for it to fuck off because it's on and it's a diesel and it's making a shit ton of noise. No big deal. We're gonna go ahead and get on with the day. Customer finally approved the radiator, so we're gonna go ahead and knock this out. Easy peasy, gentlemen. I mean, it's a damn Radiator, a damn Honda, so it's gonna be just you're gonna remove this piece right here, take off the bracket that holds down the radiator on both ends, probably a 10mm. Pop those out. Then I'll go ahead and remove the reservoir, both upper and lower hose. Then I'll go ahead and remove the fans, the connectors to the fans, and then the 2 bolts that hold, or the 4 bolts that hold the fans to the radiator. Probably leave the radiator. Actually, I'm probably gonna leave those on because there's enough room in there for me to get everything off. Hold on, let me get the light in here, guys. So there's enough room in here for me to get the radiator out without removing the fans in the car. So I'll go ahead and just slide it out and then remove them outside of the car. It'll be easier. So I'm just gonna disconnect the fans at the connector, and then it should slide right out. Okay, boys. Hopefully you guys can see this. Hopefully it's not too dark. We will see once I edit the video, but hopefully it's not too crazy. But anyways, I'm gonna show you guys how to do this job real quick. kind of like a quick, straightforward view of it. I'm not gonna show you guys everything because you don't need to see me taking off, you know, 10 of these damn little clips that hold down this piece of plastic. But basically, these little clips have like a little area in there where you could like pop them out. So like, you put a, let me see, flathead in there, pop it out. The first piece pops out, and then it'll allow you to remove the second piece. And then you do the same thing to all of them. Make sure you don't lose these, because they do break. And they do break. Make sure you don't break them. Make sure you don't lose them. You can use like aftermarket little clips. I use aftermarket clips when I lose them or break them. It's not a big deal. This car already has a few of them here. This one actually is one of those aftermarket clips. So the car already has a few of them that are broken. But anyways, besides that, really no special instructions on how to do this job. Pretty straightforward. Remove everything, put everything back together. Easy peasy Japanesey. I guess the only thing that might be difficult is filling up the system, but even then it's not even that difficult. It's pretty easy to fill up this system because there's no real, Hondas don't have issues with air bubbles or anything like that, so you shouldn't have a problem. As long as you fill it up slowly and then drive it, doesn't overheat, bring it back, let it cool down a little bit, and then check the fluid again, you should be okay. So check the fluid after you take it for a test drive, and then you should be cool. Shouldn't have any problems. Yeah, straightforward, guys. As far as the tools I'm using, basic hand tools. I'll be using like a 10mm. Man, this thing came out like a no problem. I wonder if this has already been done. Normally these things are on tight. Not pop. Came out pretty easy. Yeah, as far as tools that I'm using, basic hand tools, nothing too crazy. I think somebody already did this radiator actually. Everything's coming off really easily, which is not normal. Not normal at all for things to come off that easy. I'm not worried about it because the radiator, it's not like, it doesn't matter if somebody was already in here. It doesn't matter. So I'm not worried about it. It's just kind of funny. And in case there is something missing, I'll know it's because somebody fucked up and they didn't put it back together properly. There's a sensor down here that I'm trying to find the clip for. The little release, and I can't find it. I can't see it and I can't feel it. Normally I'm able to feel it, but there it is. So did I have a photo shoot today, but my photographer can't make it because the Dodger game's on, I guess, or whatever. It is what it is. Kind of sucks. But yeah. Okay, this is a manual trans, so I have to disconnect the trans cooler lines. Luckily, I only have to remove the lower radiator hose, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove it, and then I'll be able to bring out the radiator. Okay guys, so I'm using my pliers. I've talked about these before. I did cut a groove inside the plier face, so I'm able to hold these clips a little bit better, or these hose clamps, I mean. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, that's what I use to remove these style. Well, obviously I have the actual tool to compress these hose clamps, but it's a little bit easier just to get this done with the pliers. Just remove the damn hose clamp now. Okay. No, almost had it. Damn it. Yes, I got it. Okay. We'll get a bucket or something so it doesn't spill all over the place. I have like these huge buckets. I love these. It'll catch everything. Okay. Okie dokie. Lower hose is off. Should be able to bring out the radiator now. That's all she wrote, baby. That's it, boys. I'm actually gonna bring the cardboard over here so I could lay this down so it doesn't make a mess on my floor. Nah. Damn it, I don't wanna make a mess. Okay, let's leave it right here for now. Let's go ahead and take off all the fans and everything here, just so I don't make a mess on my floor that I just mopped. Yeah, I probably could have done this on the car, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Okay, so this is like the easiest freaking radiator to do, man. Thank God. There we go. Finally get an easy one. I don't know how radiators I've done that are like, that take forever and they only pay like $100. Okay, radiator's off. This is where the crack was. Hold on, let me maneuver you guys a little bit better. Okay, so the crack was on the top exit for the radiator. And the only thing I have to transfer over are the two little booties that go on the bottom, the little grommets, and then the, I don't know, I think this is a temperature sensor, or I don't know what the fuck this is. That sensor right there. This one. I don't know exactly what the hell that's for. I don't think it's a temperature sensor, but I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest. Somebody could tell me in the comment section, cool. If not, whatever, I don't really give a fuck what it's for. The only thing I know is that it's gonna go in the new radiator. You don't need to know what it's for. Like for this job, obviously if you do have an issue with coolant, you do, but I don't need to know, so I don't give a fuck. So I'm going to go ahead and replace or transfer over all the stuff that's on this radiator, and I'll just go throw it on the new one. I'll see you guys soon. Okay, boys, about to fill up the system. I'm gonna be using my fill funnel. This bad boy, you just adapt it, put it on here, fill it up with coolant, and then you turn the car on and you let it burp out any air bubbles. And it's very easy to use. It's pretty accurate. Never really had any issues using this, and it actually makes for an easy cleanup if you do want to just fill it up without any problems, because it does. Okay, gentlemen, so we got that bubbles purging out right now. I just turned the car on, so I'm gonna let it just kind of purge. Then I'll go ahead and put the cap on, and then I'll go drive it around. And then once I do that, I'll bring it back in. I'll let it cool down for just a second, and then check the fluid one more time, and then it should be all good. What I like to do with cars that are in here for overheating issues or coolant issues is I always let them just kind of run, let them warm up, and I always make sure that the fans turn on, both fans, right? So I let it get hot, the fans turn on, and then the fans should turn off, because the fans sense that the car is hot. Once it cools it back down to regular operating temperature, the fans turn off, and then it's all good, and then the fans turn back on when the car gets hot again. So if fans turn on and off after you drive it and you let it sit, you let it run, then you're good to go, and you for sure know that there's no air bubbles and the car is cooling properly and there's no other issues. Now, the fans stay on and the freaking temperature keeps going up, then you might have another issue like a head gasket or something like that. So right now, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and put the cap on, take it for a test drive, and make sure everything's cool, check it one more time, let it run, let the fans turn on and off. Once I do that, then I'll call the customer and let them know it's ready to go. After I wash out the engine bay and I make sure that all the coolant's out of the engine bay, and I make sure everything is nice and clean, because I don't want any residue there, because the last thing I want is for the customer to be like, oh, there's coolant on my floor, and I'm like, yeah, it's residual. You know what I mean? Because then they think that something happened, and then it's a big old mess. So make sure you keep everything nice and clean after you do a coolant repair or oil leak or anything, any leaks or anything like that. Make sure you get all that stuff out of the car. Obviously, you might not always get it all, but even then, try to tell the customer after the job is done, By the way, you might have a few drops here and there residual because I cleaned off the engine bay with a bunch of water, so a bunch of water might still be leaking a little bit, but after a day or two you shouldn't see anything. If you do, we might have another issue. Call me, but you shouldn't have any other problems from this component being bad. So anyways, I'm gonna go do that. Thanks so much for watching, gentlemen. The day is over here at the shop, so I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, edit this video, upload it. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, TheMechanicNM. Make sure you sign up for my newsletter at NestorMendoza.com. I've been putting up a whole bunch of really good emails out there, so every morning I'm gonna be doing my emails, so you guys will have one early in the morning tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching. Like always, take care, boys.